Hey there. Okay. Just trying to get a couple things set up before my hair is like all tweaking this morning. Okay. Good morning, Addison. Good morning, Michael. Okay. All right, I think I got everything set up. Cool. Hey guys. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Make sure that my volume and all that stuff is good. Morning. Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we're good to go. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you. I already drank half a cup of coffee. I'm trying to wake up. When it is this cold outside, I just never want to wake up. I just want to stay underneath my blankets and forget about life, because it's so much cozier and so much nicer there than out here in the cold. I'm not a cold person. It's time to go to the beach. It is definitely time to go to the beach. But I was laying there and I'm saying my morning gratitudes and trying to convince myself to go freeze for a second while I went and found my socks and stuff, because it is really, really cold even though the heater's on. The first thing that kind of came into my mind was I had these thoughts of, well, I was thinking about yesterday and I was thinking about different stuff and oh, my eyes are all teary, sorry. And I didn't have any negative thoughts, but I was thinking about the past. I was just thinking about the past. I was thinking about things that I have to do today, you know, my appointments and then workshops on Saturday. And it was just like this flood of, oh my gosh, there's so much to do in the next 2 days and I'm hardly going to be home and all this different stuff. And then just other things started popping in, and you know, then I had this like old memory come through, and it tried to grab a hold of me. It tried to grab a hold of me and take me down this memory lane. As I was coming down the stairs, I was just, you know, kind of got lost in this thought. And I started to chuckle at myself that I was lost in this thought. And I was like, oh my gosh, get in the moment, girl. Oh my goodness, like be present. So pouring my coffee and I'm telling myself to be present, and did not ask God like what's the topic of the day, because I was trying to get to presence in that moment. And I realized, oh, God's giving me the topic right now. God's giving it to me because here I am. I'm running around trying to be present so that I can do Facebook Live and be with you guys and all this good stuff and figure out what the topic is. And the topic is basically to not live in yesterday. Yesterday ended last night. You know, yesterday ended last night, and we woke up and we're now in today. And today is the most important day that we have, because it's really, truly the only day that we have, right? And I know that seems like something that we always get told, and that it's, you know, it's just what it is. You know, of course, today is the only day and everything. But when you look at it, the majority of people are living life, and I think we all do. I did it just walking down the stairs this morning. You know, it had this little moment of living life, looking through the rearview mirror, looking at life, you know, in that moment that wasn't even here. And I guess that's why there must be enough people out there doing this right now for whatever reason. Maybe it's because it's Friday and we're going into the weekend and everybody is thinking about last weekend or the things that they should have done over the week that they didn't get done. And planning out next week or what have you. I don't know. But that just seemed to be what was coming through. And I'm like, okay, well, this seems kind of like, you know, something that has been hit on so many times. But the truth is that we do live in the past the majority of our time. Why do we do that? I mean, it's, you know, I make comments a lot about regret, and regret has us looking back. Regret constantly has us looking back. Worry has us looking all over the place, right? When we're worrying, we're looking at everything but the present. We're examining this possibility and that possibility and this and that, and we just build up this anxiety in our body and tension, frustration, all that different stuff. So, morning, Patrick. And, you know, as we build this stuff up inside of us, we don't leave any room in there we leave no room for faith, for certainty, for belief, for moving forward, for our present moment. We don't leave room for that because we're so focused on everything that's going on around us, the worry, the concern, the anxiety, the regrets of yesterday, last week, last year, and it all tends to hold us back. It definitely tends to hold us back. So, hold on just a second. My voice is getting raspy already. There's this quote that I quickly found. John Barrymore: "A man is not old until regrets take the place of dreams." A man is not old until regrets take the place of dreams. When I read that, I was like, ooh, that's a good quote. That's a good quote because, you know, how old are you? You could be, I have this one client, and this person is very, very young. I mean, is in their 20s actually. And I listened to him, and he just is so caught in this, like, it's like he's a 95-year-old man that is just stuck in this energy of being old, because his concerns, his fears, his worries, his frustrations, everything has him not living. And he's so concerned about that it is amazing that he's just, you know, here he is in his early 20s, and basically life is right there in front of him. Life, you know, he has so many great things going for him, and I've told him all of this before. So and he's just like, you know, you have all of this right in front of you. You've got to let go of the things that have not even come, or the things that you are looking back at the past, because the past is basically anchoring you in a state of you know, quicksand. I was talking about quicksand the other day. We'll talk about quicksand. This is like being buried underneath quicksand when we allow regrets and worry to hold us back like that. And what it does is it steals our dreams. It steals our future. It makes it where we can't see our path. And as I titled this, it's your guide, not your jailer. And that's yesterday. Yesterday is your guide, not your jailer. It's not there to prevent you from moving forward, from preventing you from succeeding, preventing you from living the life that you want to live, preventing you from dreaming. But so many of the times we allow our yesterdays to determine what that future is, and typically it makes it where our future is no longer our future. Oh, shoot, my computer just did something wonky, so now I can't. It's the calendar thing on my computer. I forgot about it since I am on the phone. But I can see everybody popping up so much quicker and easier on the computer than on my phone. So we really allow it to determine our path, And we do it without even realizing, because we just get caught up in, just like me this morning, coming down the stairs, getting caught up in this memory of other stuff. And it makes it where you start thinking about that, and you're living in that, and you're experiencing that, and you're pulling that energy in, and you're anchoring it into your body. And whether, especially typically what we're doing, if we're thinking about good things from the past. Good morning, Tony. If we're thinking about good things from the past, how are we thinking about the good things? I bet you that the majority of the time, if you really look at it, when you're thinking about something good from the past, you're thinking about it in a state of loss. You're thinking about it in a state of, oh, I wish I could go back to that, because I feel so empty, because I feel so this, I feel so that. That was a time when I had, instead of realizing that that energy is still with you, and that you can think about it in a way that you can, when I say think, I'm meaning feel. You can feel into it as though it is current. But what we do is we feel into it with a state of scarcity, a state of loss. And that's the problem with that right there, is how we go about reviewing our past. So, and if we're not thinking about something good in our past, in that, oh, I wish I could have that again. See, there's an emptiness to that. Oh, I wish I could have that again, instead of, that was really fun, and I've got this going on, and I've got that going on, and and all this, just thinking about it as though that was a good lesson, that was a good experience, and I'm going to create this in this moment. So being consciously aware of how we're reviewing our past. And if you're thinking about negative stuff, well, you're thinking about negative stuff, like, and that would be the case with this one person I'm kind of throwing underneath the bus right this very second. But it's the whole, really, if you're sitting there and you're analyzing your past and looking at it in such negative terms, and constantly going, well, this is what I always get. Why do I always get that? Now you are actually looking for reasons to believe why that's all you're going to ever have, why that's all you're going to ever get, because that's what's always been, right? It's always been, so that must be just the way it is. So why expect anything differently? Because it is what it is. But if you're looking at your past like that, and you're bringing it in, that's not the right guide. The guide is there to teach you how you can achieve something different, how you can actually pull something different in. Those are lessons to be learned of that was not the right way to do it, or maybe that didn't work in that moment, for what reason. So let me see, I found another quote in here. Life can be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. If past history was all that mattered, librarians would be the only successful people in the world. And that is from John Mason. And that's just really, that kind of brings it home, as, what do librarians do? You go into the library, you can ask them about any book in there, and they can tell you. A lot of librarians are fantastic history buffs, and they learn all this different stuff, and they're really, really studious, analytical types that can really examine the past. And it's good to examine the past, but only from the point of view of trying to get your lessons and see what was not, how can you move forward. You need to use it as just your guiding post, not as something that is in this moment, because it's not in the moment. It's truly not. So if you bring it down to the perspective of, like creating dreams, and some of the things that we've talked about over the last month and a half, whatever it's been now, it's almost a month and a half, that, how do we create? If we sit around and we think about that, or if you look at like calling down blessings, right? Claiming your blessings and calling them into your life, manifesting, being that co-creator. Does the universe really care? Does God really care about the past? Or is it about where you're at right this very second and where you're going? You know, if you can forgive yourself and ask for the forgiveness that is needed, that means that you are moving forward, not sitting in the past. Forgiveness is about moving forward. Forgiveness is about releasing everything, letting it go so that you can then take everything that you had learned, and move that mountain in front of you and not make the same mistakes. But what do we do when we sit in regret, when we sit in the past? We basically prevent ourselves from moving forward consistently. So just look at Jules' hair. She looks like she's half awake.
He didn't answer my text, so I was coming down to ask.
Yes.
It's literally like 12 degrees in the room.
And so, okay. Now that was the past. She's gone. She's gone. Yeah, she really is. She just vanished into the darkness. Got her question answered. But if we let the past, you know, if we let those lessons, that the stuff, if we don't forgive ourselves for the past, then basically I'm kind of underneath the belief that God's going to forgive us if we forgive ourselves and if we ask for it. But it starts with us forgiving ourselves, right? And that forgiveness, it gets us moving forward, gets us releasing those past, the shit that's happened. And often it all comes down to self-love and self-respect and honoring self and learning how to grow into self so that we can really start to receive. Because normally when we do certain things that we need forgiveness for, those things are things that we would not do if we were in a state of love for self. And here's the thing, I focus on self-love because if you're loving yourself, you're not going to necessarily go out there and try to harm anybody else. There's no, you can't. The self-love is there, and there comes compassion and empathy and all this other stuff with it. So there's no reason to harm somebody else. Somebody who is doing anything evil, you could say, to other people is really not loving themselves. It's evident by their actions, right? We truly show who we are by our actions. So there's no reason to get caught up on your past, even if you've done some really, really crappy things in your past, as long as you go into forgiveness, love, release, learn from it, move forward. Right now, in this moment, take the step to be in the moment, which is exactly what Conscious Coffee is all about. Becoming conscious in this moment, becoming conscious right here, and just letting the moment be, and grabbing it for all the blessings that's there, and walking into this moment, because that's where we're going, moment to moment to moment to moment. And we don't ever have anything else. So why would we, if we sit around and we think about all the negative stuff, if we sit around and we think about all the stuff that we wish we could have done yesterday, last week, last year, and we do it in the aspect of, well, you know, last year I said I was going to do this, and I said I was going to do that, but I didn't do it. And you know, when I look back, I didn't do it in the year before. And I'm probably not going to do it this year either, because I just don't think I have it inside me. I don't think that it's for me. I don't think that that's the life for me, because if it was, then something would have happened. But then there's this like little voice, and and sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's true. We're trying to, like, if you're really wanting something that's really outside of your scope and you're just wanting it for whatever reason, it's one thing. But I'm talking about those goals of, let's say the last 2 years you said that you wanted to get in shape. The last 2 years you said that you wanted to move. The last 2 years you said that you wanted to call into your life a love relationship. the last 2 years you said that you wanted to change jobs or increase your income or something like that, okay? Because that's the majority of the things that we crave right there are those little things. And they are really little. They are really, really little, but they're so big in our lives. Well, here's the thing. Since I still do preach a lot about relationship, I'm going to pick on the relationship one right this very second. If you're saying that you want to call love in, and you're saying that you want to really have this relationship, or you want to change the relationship that you're in and have more love in that relationship, then are you living your relationship right now, whether you're single or with somebody, doesn't much matter. Are you living your relationship? Because you've got to get into a state of relationship to call a relationship in. And you've got to get into a state of relationship with self, is what we're talking about here. The relationship with self, the love of self, the opening, all of that good stuff, to be able to call it in. So over the last 2 years, where did you prevent relationship? Where did you prevent a relationship with yourself? Where did you prevent love with yourself? Because if you're saying, I want this to come in, I want this loving, romantic, connected, intimate, turned on relationship to come in with this person that I get along with, but challenges me to grow and to become a better me, blah, 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 all this stuff. Well then, how over the last 2 years, if you're saying over the last 2 years, I'm just using, right? Over the last 2 years, I haven't been able to do this, so it's probably not going to happen this year either. How have you been holding yourself back? Where have you been anchoring yourself in the not being in a relationship? Where have you been anchoring yourself in the, I'm not going to love myself here. I'm not going to forgive myself here. I'm not going to open myself here. I'm not going, I'm going to just focus in on, well, I've always had this, so that just must be the way it is. Because there is some little thought that is holding you back, some little thought of regret, of pain, of suffering that is anchoring you into this past energy that is keeping your present moment to look exactly the same. So really looking at that, that's the jailing thought of the past. And we bring this jailer along with us each and every day when we wake up. So where are you? Where's the jailer at? Find the jailing thought. You can say the same thing about looking for a new job, a new house, whatever that might be, making a choice in your career. If you've just signed up for some opportunity or something, and you've done opportunity, like some multi-level thing, and you've done other multi-level things, or you've never done a multi-level thing, but you've heard bad things and good things and all this different stuff, because I know a lot of people are doing that. Well, how are you anchoring yourself in the negative thought of, oh yeah, I had an uncle a couple years ago that tried that, and and he didn't have any success. He lost a lot of money, but he didn't have any success. Well, that's living. You see how we could instantly bring up worry, doubt, and we're going, oh yeah, I had. Well, that's a past conversation. That's a past thought. Are you your uncle? No. I'm not saying go out there and join a whole bunch of multi-level companies. I'm actually not a multi-level person at all. But so if you're ever in a multi-level company, don't come to me, because I'm a no. but that's because of just I want to stay on focus on my path. So I'm focused on one thing. But if you are looking for something, and you're throwing, and you're looking around, and you're trying stuff, and you're trying to pull it in, nothing is going to work. If you're out there in the dating world and you sign up for a dating site and you're trying to go out on dates, because that's just the same as joining a multi-level company and trying to build a business there. It's just the same as going and putting your resume out looking for new jobs, but if you have this thought of, oh, there's not a job that has the right amount of that's going to pay me what I'm worth, I'm underqualified, I'm overqualified, not enough people care about this opportunity. What are those thoughts? Because they're coming from someplace in the past. In the moment is what we're trying to get to. If you wake up in the moment, who are you today? What are you in this moment? deal with what you're at right this very second and move forward from there, because that's what other way are you going to go? If you sit around and you stare in your rearview mirror, guess what? Try to drive a car. Try to get in your car and try to drive down the road staring in your rearview mirror. See how far you get. See what the drive is like. You're probably going to end up in an accident. You rear end somebody, you're driving off the road, something's going to happen if you're focused on the rearview mirror. So, but yet we deal with our lives. We drive cars moving forward. We only look in the rearview mirror for guidance, for for protection, basically, so that we can kind of see like what's going on around us. But when we look at our lives, and we are constantly, for the most part, staring in the rearview mirror and making decisions based on the rearview mirror. If you're in your car and you're driving down the freeway through the desert and everything, you might glance in your rearview mirror every now and then just to see if a car is coming up on you, right? But you're not staring at where you've already gone. You're looking forward. You might glance out to the sides to look at the scenery, to look around, to get a feel, the lay of the land. But you're moving forward. You're keeping your eye forward. Where in today have you already started looking in the rearview mirror? How have you already put your focus there instead of forward? Because it really is just the conscious awareness, once again, just the conscious awareness of taking your eyes off the rearview mirror, taking your eyes off the jailer, and putting your eyes forward, paying attention to moving forward. Look back and look back in gratitude. Everything that has happened over the course of your time is there for you to actually be grateful for. Find the blessings in the wounds, find the blessings in the suffering, find the blessings in the hard times, in the hardships, in the mistakes, all the things that you fucked up. It's okay. It's okay. Forgive yourself for it. Be in gratitude for it, because it taught you something. It taught you how not to do it. It taught you how not to live, to act, the choices that you don't want to make again. So that's something to be grateful for, because that gives you what? Wisdom. And that is what the past is there for, to provide us with wisdom. And the more we can be grateful that our past is just there to provide us just that, wisdom and guidance, because we now have wisdom, then we can move forward in confidence. And there's nothing sexier than a confident person that's moving forward and not living in the past. But it's all those little times that we look back. So catch yourself. Every time you catch yourself looking in the rearview mirror of your life, go, oh my gosh, I'm doing it again, and look forward. That's it. That's all you have to do. I mean, a piece of crumb cake, right? Because that's all you have to do. Realize that your past is not your potential. Your past is not your potential. Your past has nothing to do with your potential. I know that a lot of the times we get wrapped up in, well, I don't have this, I feel this way, I feel like I'm not smart enough, like I don't have enough experience, like I don't have this, like I do it too. But then I go, fuck that, I'm moving forward. I know what I want, so I can be whomever I want and make up that decision right now, make up my mind right now to be that person, to start acting like that person, making that commitment to self to be that person, and realizing that that past me, she learned a lot of great things, but that's the past me. I don't have to, I can take from the past what I want into the moment, and I'm going to choose wisely, because that's what the past has given me. Wisdom to look at it, and wisdom to say, this was really great. I'm going to do that. I've never experienced this before, so maybe I'm going to try that. And it's going to do what it's going to do, but I'm going to try it with enthusiasm, with excitement. I'm going to go and explore, and I'm going to go create more things for me to gain wisdom from. And just that experience of moving forward. Now, granted, wisdom does what? It makes it where we are not going to make some of the choices that we used to do, right? So we're not going to be We're not going to be really focused on it. Thank you, Michael. I think I'm coming down to a close here. I wanted to see if I had one more quote. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no, never mind. That doesn't really. Oh, actually, yes. The wise man looks ahead. The fool attempts to fool himself and won't face the facts. Proverbs 14, verse 8, if anybody cares. The wise man looks ahead. The fool attempts to fool himself and won't face the facts. So what is that saying? If you're looking in the rearview mirror, you're being the fool. You're being the fool because you're living in the past. And the wise man looks forward. So go in wisdom today. Go in wisdom. Stop taking journeys into your past. They're not needed. They're not needed, not for the most part. When you catch yourself journeying into your past, take your eyes off that mirror. Look forward. And, you know, let go of yesterday. After every single night, there is a sunrise. And that's what we have coming. We have the sunrise of today. So focus in on the sunrise. Take your path, walk your journey, drive your journey without your eyes on the rearview mirror, on the future, and go have an amazing Friday, an absolutely amazing Friday, an amazing weekend, and go create a beautiful, beautiful day for yourself and stay present, keep dreaming, dream big, make those dreams rattle your own cage. That's what they should be doing. They should be rattling your own cage, okay? And just keep your eyes on right here. The beauty of the past pales compared to the wonder of now. Yes, yes. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Stay warm. Be safe out there and focus awesome thoughts on the day. I love you guys. Again, share the message if you feel in your heart to do so. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being awake with me on this cold morning for those of you that are in cold terrain like myself. And I will catch you guys on Monday at 6 o'clock. Okay, bye guys.